Okay, hello everybody. We are now live. That's good. Welcome everybody to the weekly call of the Bridge Working Group update. This is the usual call that we are doing every Friday, and here we are sharing some details on how we are developing the bridge. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to do the general, as we always do, the meeting notes. Yep. Okay. So hopefully you are able to see it. So yeah, let's start with the agenda. So as always, we would like to update you with the status and current goal of the project, share with you the weekly updates, also discuss a little bit on what we are going to do on the next week, and also discuss some specific topics. And maybe some of you have any specific topics for the discussion that we can put here already. So I actually have one. This is like a Monday call moving, and probably we need also to talk a little bit about the Ropsten issue. Do you think so, Marcel?
Yes, absolutely. And also about mainnet release, mainnet launch.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. So let's get to the status and the current goal, and also review and the planned stuff from the previous week. So so the status, we are deployed and tested the testnet bridges that we have. We have two of them, near testnet Ropsten, near testnet Rinkeby. Actually, I was not testing Rinkeby. Marcela, have you tested it?
Not personally, like I haven't tried to deploy any connect. Well, there is a connector. I haven't tried to use it there,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, from the monitoring dashboard, it seems everything is going smooth there.
Super cool. Yeah. So the Ropsten bridge is for surely tested by multiple people at this moment in time. We also released, made available for public the UI of the Ropsten bridge. So you are able to go to the github.com/near/rainbow bridge front end and see there the UI, and also the CLI guide, or like the step-by-step guide. It is there, ready for you to test it, and yeah, encouraging you to do this and encouraging you to hack with this stuff. We are working on the upgradability plan. So we've created a draft of this, and we would like to present to you it later this week, probably over the weekend, or maybe in the beginning of the next week. We are also working on the bridge version 2, and on ETH connector. So this connector will allow people to bridge ETH from Ethereum, so the base currency, to Near. And this thing is really important for also for the people that would like to use EVM, because ETH is going to be a base token of the EVM too. So that's good, and that's why this specific thing is also important for us. So with regards, let's review what we have planned from the previous week. I've just copied our plans here, so let's see what we have done. And like I'm going to put in done while we were doing the weekly update, so we do not need to spend specific time. I'm just going to come back to these points here. So I'll start with myself. I was working on the step-by-step guide, or the CLI guide. It was released in 2 stages. The first one was on Monday, so it was almost in time for within the current planned roadmap. And yesterday I updated it make it a little bit prettier, make it a little bit more meaningful CLI output, and also enable the transition back. So it seems like it is working and all good on that side. On that side. With regards to the upgradability, I also prepared it. It's a draft. We need to do the review, and then it's going to be posted, as I said. We were working together with Marcelo on fixing ROPS 10 deployment. It was non-trivial bug there. I'm going to talk about this a bit later. It was also some hiring activities. Again, reminding everybody that we have one open position. So there are some prominent candidates here, but we are always open to new people. So if you think that you can help us, come join, go to the website, find the blockchain interoperability engineer position, and please submit. And also some calls and support of the partners. So that means that from my side, in done was almost everything without the docs on using the connectors. So this is something that needs to be done, actually, and this is something that is important to have. And I believe at some point in time we need to focus on the documentation here. Okay, Marcelo, what about you?
Yeah, regarding the planned items, about collecting testing issues, this has been an ongoing effort as part of the tracing all issues on our repositories. So, and I'm like collecting extra document about missing tests. I have been working a lot this week on the CI. It's not fully functional because there are a lot of tests that are still not active, but I'm making sure that all tests we have already implemented, they are green, so we can rely again on our CI. And again, this has also attribute to the collecting testing issues part, because I have more clarity about what we are already testing and what you're missing, but still not put that together in the discussion. Nothing on the documentation about connectors. And I did some manual testing about step-by-step guide. Works great. Thanks for that. And discussed with Shad about front end and was using it myself for testing. Other than that, well, we had this issue in Robston, which I've been fixing yesterday and today. Yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Yeah, you wrote Porsten rather than Robston.
Porsten, yeah. It's just because it's Friday, you know. I already want to go and drink some beer. Okay, Eugen, what about you?
I was reviewing our smart contract code. Specifically, I found a number of issues in ETH prover smart contract. So as far as I understand, this issue could result in the ETH prover not being able to verify some proofs. So maybe in some situation, this could result in transfers to near failing. But I think we haven't observed many failures in production, so maybe these conditions don't occur frequently in practice, but it's still a good thing to fix them.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have partially reviewed our Ethereum client, Ethereum on Near client. So I think I'll post an issue later with the result.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's great. we were discussing about the review of Nth proof. Have you had a chance to look at it?
I haven't looked specifically into
okay.
hash proof.
Okay, good. Great, Kirill. What about you?
Yeah, so this week I have created a APR for the 467. 462 is finalized as well. I just didn't create the APR. I thought that I will push that one on top of the 467, but as it's still in the review process, I believe I will just create another one for 462 as well. This week I also spent time discovering more both Near and Ethereum contracts regarding the breach. So the prover clients, etc. Like to get their more broad context of what is expected to do. And I also took a look at the NEP 141 expected implementation, and also the video by Evgeny that was posted on YouTube. That was very useful for me as well. And I also started implementing the ETH connector on Solidity. And yeah, as I said on the event call, I expect to have like some V1 version to discuss on Monday working group. So we will be able like to have a great discussion regarding that one, and most likely finalize that one until the Friday.
Okay, super cool. We would need to test that really badly. So yeah. So maybe Eugen, this would be something for you to look at down the road. Probably not the next week, but like the week after the next week. Okay. So Chad is not with us, yeah? We only have 5 of us here.
I think Alex's screen is frozen for me. Do you see any changes on the shared screen?
I can restart, no problem.
Oh, it's frozen for me as well, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. I mean, I don't know what's the reason. Do you see it right now? Is it good?
No, it's black.
Not yet.
No, pure black. Only void.
Okay, so yeah, sorry for this. I would then stop sharing up because like I will not reconnect here because I believe Zoom might have some problems here. But what about chat? So I'm just going to write stuff. What about chat? Chat is not with us. What I can say for him, so he was doing on last Friday the ETH Denver presentation of the Rainbow Bridge. He was showing a really nice deck, and he was preparing specifically for this event, the front end. So yeah, so he was doing this, and during this week, in the course of this week, he was working on the Near to ETH transfer. And well, he was not working on it; he finished it. Near to Ethereum transfer. So that was his focus right now. Yeah, and that was the main thing that we needed him to do. Slowly but surely, Chad is going to drift a little bit away from the Bridge project. He is going to be working in the Berry Pickers team on different things. And also, I have good news for all of you. We have an additional person joining the Bridge team next week. You will meet him during the next call. And this person is going to take in his hands the front end of the bridge, and he will be working on it, also helping with some of the contracts. Yeah. So what are our plans for the next week? What do we need to do? Let me open somewhere. Unfortunately, I can share it with you, but let's open. I'm going to open the Bridge Q1 roadmap, and I'll take a look what we need. What we need to have here for the next week. So there is no specific deliverable of the next week. The next big thing is on the 1st March. So we need to deliver by the 1st March the bug bounty program on the testnet, and we need to deliver internal instructions for deployment monitoring, tooling, and alerts, and on-call handbook. So we have 2 weeks to do that stuff. And also, it was Chad's responsibility, external instructions and doc how to use the existing deployments and connectors. So these are like the docs that we were referring in the beginning. So it was scheduled for 15th of February, so for Monday. Need to work on this. So for sure, in the course of the next week, we would need to deliver this. Good thing is that these docs are partly there, just because the step-by-step guide, obviously, there are some kind of guidelines how to use it and where the things are deployed. I think that what we need to do is to update the Rainbow Bridge README and also the connector README. So these are the major things that we need to update and put some information there. So yeah, need to work on this, and everything will be good. So I see no major problem here. This is not a coding task, and I actually, since I was using the, I actually can help with this stuff, and since I was building the step-by-step guides, I know how to use the bridge. So yeah, let's share this information with everybody. So no major stuff here. So that means that we can plan everything that is connected with our OKRs, but not specifically with the milestones. So let me. So for me, I'm going to once again docs on the bridge usage.
Alex, if you enable share screen permission, I can share my screen maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try it. Okay, I'm just going to make you a host.
Okay.
Isn't this permission already enabled? I'd have a share screen button.
I also had it, but I tried and I wasn't available to do it.
Yeah, super cool. Can you? I'm going to let's for the second stick with the HackMD document. I'm sending in the chat. Can you open it, please?
Yeah, sure.
And then we will go and review the project that we have on the GitHub. Yeah. Okay, super cool. So I'm going to do the docs on the bridge usage. This is something that that we need to do. Also, I'm going to publish the upgradability plan. And yeah, what else? I also need to focus on the EVM next week, because this week I was mainly working on the bridge. So yeah, EVM needs to have a little bit of my attention. So that's my plan for the next week. One additional thing that I would like to do, to work with Marcelo on, is the following. I would like to make, and we were discussing this with regard to the issue, and we are going to to talk about this stuff in some time. I would like to make sure that with the current deployments, we are able to upgrade it. So like put more attention I'll devote a little bit more of my attention to the upgradability part and to fixing, the ability to fix stuff. So yeah, this is something also, but I'm not sure how to put it here. Marcelo, what do you think? What's your plan for the next week?
Am I muted? Are you listening?
Sorry?
Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. All good, all good.
Perfect. So I'll be finishing the CI part because there are a lot of tests that are still not running. And I will also enable all tests we have started on Maybach, like Alex Kuprin started a month ago, 2 months ago, infrastructure for testing the bridge, which it's better to develop some complex end-to-end tests there than on our current setup, which are several bash scripts that are initializing bridge, like Ethereum node, near node, etc. So yeah, basically CI. And if I can finish that in time, well, next thing in plan is testing upgradability, which is part of adding just, well, first doing it by hand, checking that it works, then crafting a test that stress this and check that this works fine. Like with current upgradability plan, which is basically God mode. So yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, super cool. Eugen, what about you? Do you have some specific things?
I will continue reviewing our existing contract code and working on Bridge version 2.
Mm-hmm. And Kirill? So you are going to focus on the Eth connector, yeah?
Yeah, and I also want to make sure that 467 and 462 are merged by the end of the next week. So I will probably ping someone who can review the code to like please review and comment or either approve it. And yeah, I'm going to. No, it's not the ETH connector PR.
Okay.
Can you correct this, please?
Yeah. So I just like from the EVM bridge, I thought that you would be able to create a ETH connector PR already. No.
Okay. By the end of next week, I hopefully with this we will have like an agreement regarding the interface of the contract and perhaps the POC implementation for it. But this is also is not that really predictable because when I started doing the ETH connector, I thought that it will be quite fast and everything is okay.
Sure.
I understand all the things. Then in the process, like my mind switched to the state. I understand nothing at all. What should I do with this? And this is slightly like changing between these states.
Sure. Okay. No problem. Just pin me. I know a lot about the connector code since I was using it with the ERC20, and this is pretty close to it. So just pin me if you feel that you are blocked, and we're going to solve it.
Okay.
Okay. Super cool. So on the discussion, since the person who is going to join us, he's located in Korea, I propose to move our Monday sync, our Monday planning sync a little bit earlier, to 13 UTC, which is 5 hours earlier than we have at the moment. And I just forgot to ask you.
At some point, we had a plan to move it to 14 UTC, but I think currently we have already EVM meeting scheduled at that time. Maybe can we move it to 15 UTC?
So let me check. So 15 UTC, we can do this. Evgeny, the only problem that we have a call with you during that time, but we also can adjust.
We can move it.
Okay. Does 15 UTC is better for you, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What about everybody else? 15 UTC, 3 hours earlier than right now.
For me, that's fine.
I'm okay with it too.
Okay, super cool. Decided. Great. Now,
I believe that still will be a midnight for the new Korean developer.
Let me check. Korea UTC time. Korea is UTC +9. So if we have a UTC 15 and +9 is a midnight. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Can we? I think that it would be better if we will move it still 5 hours earlier.
I think we should actually ask him what time is convenient for him. Like we're
Sure.
deciding for him without his participation.
Okay, this is going to be an action item for me. Check with Pierre. Yeah, but I believe. Well, let's check with him. But yeah, there might be some difference. Maybe still 1300. Okay, no problem. Good. Now the second thing that we wanted to discuss is the issue with Ropsten. So we have encountered the problem with Ropsten that resulted in the fact that though the relayers were working and the bridge occasionally was syncing, now we are talking about the near to Ethereum direction of the bridge. We have found that this sync it was not done properly. So like about 1% of all of the transactions, or even less, of all of the relay transactions were successful. And together with Marcelo, we went in, and we figured this out just because for some pretty long period of time, like several hours, the bridge was not syncing, though the relayers were constantly sending transactions. So we sit together with Marcela, and we were like looking at the code and trying to understand what the problem is there. And we figured out that the bridge was initialized in improper way. And the problem there was that Marcela, if you're able to open the code of the client.
Yeah, sure.
It will be simpler for everybody. So in the client init function, or like constructor function, there are two specific arguments that are saying about the timeouts. One timeout is used for the security window or the challenge period, and another one is used for rewriting of the untrusted. So replace duration here. And this timeout is used in the following as a protection to the following bad behavior. If a relayer submitting like old blocks, one by one blocks from near side, and not submitting the most recent blocks, what will actually happen? So the block is going to the bridge. It is recorded there in the untrusted as untrusted, and then the bridge just waits for a locked period of time for this security window, and then everything is okay, no challenge, the block was correct, and and bridge propagates further. But the problem of this propagation is that it is extremely slow. So instead of So instead of Near's speed of 1 block per second, we have 1 block per 4 hours for the Ethereum mainnet. So it's just a disaster. And in order to tolerate this behavior, it was an additional parameter, which is like the rewriting parameter introduced here. And as you can see here in lines 216 and until 222, there is an if, and especially in 221, there is an if, there is a requirement that the submitted block, which is called here Near block, it needs to have a timestamp that is sufficiently higher than the untrusted head timestamp. So in case we have this lazy or like lagging relayer, anyone in the world is able to submit an additional transaction during the security window of the previous block with a sufficiently new Near block. And then this new block that is going to replace the already recorded block, and it's going to be kept there, and the security period will start for it from the very beginning. So this was a protection mechanism, but unfortunately, because of the incorrect initialization, the replace duration timeout was lower than the security period timeout. So what literally was happening, relayers were submitting new blocks that just needed, in this if, we needed to go to the commit statement inside of it. Yeah, so we needed to commit the untrusted block that was there, or even nothing what was happening there. Yeah, so like relayers were committing earlier the blocks before the previous blocks were committed, and it's just because the relayers were set up to work pretty fast. And
Well,
these blocks were constantly replacing the blocks that were recorded as untrusted. So they were replacing, and nothing was committed.
They can't be constantly replacing. At some point, they should hit the end of the epoch, and then they should actually, like, end of the next epoch. At this point, they are required to commit a block, because only at that point they will replace the set of block producers. So they still can't just constantly replace it. It can only happen like for the duration of the epoch that follows the epoch of the last committed block. After
Sure,
that,
but still, it's very
commit at least one block from that epoch before they can move on.
Yeah,
Actually,
sure.
that was what was happening in practice. That blocks were only committed at the end of epoch. So that's why
Yeah,
we
and
have this
also
kind of-
occasionally they were committed in the center of the epoch, because of the relayer transaction was in the unconfirmed transactions in Ropsten for a long period of time. Just because of us being unlucky.
Also, I think that the current Godmode upgradability that we have, I think it should be able to change. It should be possible to use it to change this parameter in an already deployed contract if we need it, because so we don't need to deploy a new one because of this.
Unfortunately, we do not have that. We do not have a method for change this parameter, because the only place where it is instantiated is during the constructor.
No, Jenny, I think you mean like the function is only implemented in the token connector.
We have upgradability actually in the token connector and not in bridge.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
But I think we can redeploy a bridge and then modify bridge address in the existing token connector contract.
Yeah, and unfortunately for this, we do not have a method in the token connector to change the link to the prover.
We have have admin method which can do any admin method which can delegate call to arbitrary contract, so we can use it to run any code within token connector contract. So in particular, we can change any storage variable. There is admin delegate call function
okay.
that can delegate call anything.
Okay, so yeah, what we were doing with this, with all of these issues? So first of all, as a quick fix to the current Ropsten deployment, we were just reducing the speed of the relayers. Now the relayers are producing blocks at or like relaying the near blocks to Ethereum at lower pace, and that's why it is enough time for the smart contract for the security window. So blocks get now submitted correctly, but maybe not as fast as possible. This is one thing. Second thing is that we have created an issue, which is a pretty stupid issue and very simple one, is to check that the replace period is higher, or at least 2 times higher than the security period duration.
It doesn't need to be 2 times higher, and the original values that I proposed were to have this challenge period to be 4 hours and to replace period to be 5 hours. So not 2 times, just higher enough to be confident that challenge period would expire.
Sure. We were thinking yesterday with Marcela of the following scenario. If we have so somebody just submitted the block, and now we are submitting the next one. This next block that is submitted, it is going to be processed in 2 challenge periods. So because we need to wait for the first one and an additional one.
If we submit like next block that is we should wait ourselves for the challenge period for the first block to finish. The contract won't queue any blocks. If it will either accept a block immediately, so the challenge period will start right away, or it will not accept it at all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So maybe just higher than the other one. So this is a simple change in the init function. So we just need to add their requirement for
I
this.
think we can add it to our CLI. It can just, before deploying the contract, check its options.
Sure, but we also need, well, it would be a good thing to add it to the contract, isn't it? So just like we for sure will know that that something is working incorrectly, and that's a trivial change. So this is one thing, and the second thing is that here with in the token connector, we just wanted to, well, either with the admin delegate call, we can change the as far as I get it from you, Evgeny, we can change the link to the prover. Is this correct?
Yes, so we will have to redeploy the bridge and the prover. And in fact, we can just copy this admin delegate call functions to them, so we can in the future modify their configuration as well. This function is very small, so it's like trivial change. So if we do this, we also need to have admin address in them. So currently there is a check that only administrator can call those functions, which is necessary because we don't want anyone else to
do this. Okay. So let's discuss it. I'm going to take a look at this more closely to understand how this stuff is working. Probably outside this call. So yeah, so that was the bug. It was not easy to figure out what was happening there, but we did it, and Marcelo managed to fix Rainbow Bridge pretty fast. And at the moment, it is working. Oh, the Ropsten Bridge, and now it is working correctly and all good. Yeah, so that's it. So just a discussion on there. I think that like a general idea here that if we expect that some parameters have some kind of I don't know, regions of applicability. So, or like we know that some parameters needs to be higher than the others or something like that, then it would be a good thing to check it on the contract level. So this is for you, Kirill. So you are going to right now like create new contracts for Eth connector. So beware of that stuff. Things can be hard there.
Yeah, and also I have a suggestion. Why don't we only for the development version of the bridge set the parameters so the blocks will be produced only on premise when we have some transactions in them?
Well, potentially yes.
But
But
the
like,
main point of the testing bridge is to be as similar as possible to real life.
yeah,
So we are not actually spending any resource on that, on testing bridges. So I don't think we win a lot from this.
yeah. So the only thing that
Yeah.
the only thing that was changed there, it was like the timeouts, and that's it. So for mainnet, it's just security window is 4 hours, and the commits and the relaying is like every 2 times a day, every 12 hours. It will be an insane thing to to ask people to wait for 16 hours for withdrawals. This is okay for the mainnet because of the security reasons and just insanely high costs of the Ethereum blockchain at the moment. But for the testnet, obviously, like why not? We have enough Ropsten tokens, so let's use it. And the gas price is not that high. Okay, so I believe the mainnet deployment we can discuss it the next time. So because like the mainnet deployment needs to be there, it needs to be there in the mid of March, which is in exactly 1 month from now. So let's move this discussion there. Any additional stuff to discuss? What do you think? Do you have something?
Well, I was bringing that topic about mainnet deployment because several people are asking for it. So on Discord, through several channels. So there is like, what's the reason not to deploy it earlier? We can discuss it next time if you want. Yes.
Yeah. Let's probably discuss it next time. Quick update to everyone: the mainnet bridge at the moment is stopped. So we're just not running the relayers. So the contracts are there. If you want to relay, please do. But we just stopped our relayers at the moment. So just doing so, and the main reason for this, like there is no big usage at the moment. We were running mainnet deployment since November. We were seeing that not a lot of people were using the bridge, most probably because we're not having good tutorials and good documentations for this. But but now we are like doing this. We are checking some stuff, fixing some bugs, small ones. And then we are going to do the deployment, and it's going to work great, and you will have great experience. Okay, so then looks like we have discussed everything, and I wish everybody a great weekend, and see you next week.
Thank you. Have a great weekend too.
Goodbye.